So he won't be joining us for the rest of his life. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails, folks. Today I want to talk about Omicrons and how I'm going to be running the 3 different squads that I've applied Omicrons on across my 3 accounts. So I've put the Omicron onto Dash on my main account and onto Zam, actually. I'm just counting on Starkiller only needing 2 Omicrons once I finally unlock him, though I might have the 3rd ready by then. Anyways, I just want to get some value out of some of these Omicrons as I can, so I'm only rocking 8 right now, which is pretty brash. I'm usually pretty conservative about these new materials, but we're just going to use new things, and so I'm going to be running Dash, Zam, and Chirpa. Chirpa's going to be on my Prevail Man account, and I'm actually fairly excited for that one. Zam is going to be on my alt. I may end up putting either Qui-Gon on him or the Chirpa Omicron. I haven't decided yet. I do have enough to do that on my alt as well, but then Dash is only going to be 4 stars, but I think he's going to be just fine on his prepared team, so we'll see. We're gonna figure it out. We'll discuss it, folks. And by the way, just want to remind you guys, if you want to support the channel for free, all you've got to do is hit that thumbs up button or leave a comment in the comment area, or both, or hit that sub button. All of 3 of those would be amazing. Hitting the bell, I have no idea what that even does, but I hear that it's a cool thing to do, and I don't know, I've never done it myself, so don't bother. Actually, just don't. But we are trying to get to 10k subs by the end of this year, and we're getting closer. We're on track, guys. We need to average somewhere around 65 every day till we hit the new year. So that means ask your friends to do it, tell your significant other to do it, your kid brother to sub, everyone that you can think of. It would be super fancy. I would really appreciate it. This channel is blowing up, and really appreciate it. You guys have been so supportive and awesome. But we're gonna be ramping into this GAC season. We're gonna have GAC lock later today, and I am so excited for it. So keep following me for all the updates on GAC and everything. Come hang out with me on Twitch for live streams. Gonna be an epic week. For that first week is gonna be so confusing and awesome and stuff. That being said, let's talk about Omicrons, shall we? Whoa, we're in the game. Madness. What happened? Whoa. Madness. Okay. So first, guys, we're going to talk about Dash and his prepared squad. He is, as you can see, 4 stars, and he's got his Omicron on his leadership, which means that even if he somehow dies, which Vandar Chewie is going to constantly be reviving him, even if Dash dies, he's going to, his effects are going to perpetuate throughout the team. So let's look at the team here. We've got one guy who's DPS, a tank that's going to, I don't know if L3 is going to perpetually taunt. I think that she'll probably taunt quite a bit. I haven't decided how that interaction is going to go with her, actually, and we'll look at it here. But Vandar is going to be the one who keeps everyone revived, and he's really interesting. I'm super interested to see how he's going to work. Kira is just a facilitator. She's also got a mini leadership, which is kind of fun. I've always liked those I should do a video on those, on the most effective leaderships that are on uniques, like unique leaderships, like Zam, which we'll talk about. So to understand this team, you guys all know how this works, I'm guessing. So leadership, so he hands at the start of the turn, this is before the Omicron or anything, at the start of the fight, he hands prepared to everyone on his team, which is super nice. And it's everyone who's a scoundrel, and then he gives everyone extra bonuses based on their rolls. So attackers gain damage, tanks gain max health, which is actually really nice for L3 and for Vandar Chewie, in fact. And then support or healers, they gain potency and speed, and then it's all doubled, of course. So actually it's going to be 30% max health on the tanks and 30% crit damage for YOLO. And then the plus 20 speed is super nice. And then, of course, when an ally loses prepared, they gain prepared, which is why I don't know how the interaction with L3 is going to go, because I don't think she's just going to lose prepared all the time. And that's the thing that's interesting. So Dash has a few different interesting things. He has an AoE nuke that, I mean, it does okay damage, but it does all these debuffs, which is nice. So it dispels stealth and it dazes, and then it inflicts defense down, and it also inflicts crit damage down, and it can't be evaded or resisted. So he doesn't need that potency, really. This one, he can stun and everything. You guys know that. You guys can understand his kit a little bit. You know, Scoundrel Allies, this is a unique leadership, like we were kind of talking about. So even if we used Kira lead, which we don't want to, because we want his Omicron to be applied, but even if not, even with other Scoundrel Allies, like they gain max health, potency, and offense. This is one of the reasons why people are asking for him to be used with a Bando team, even at this level, because plus 20 offense is really, really nice with Bando. So definitely somewhere you can be looking at to use him if you don't have the Omicron. But otherwise, and he's also, this is kind of cool too, whenever a prepared ally scores a critical hit, all prepared allies gain 2% turn meter. So I have him modded for some crit chance. I mean, the crit chance triangle. Obviously, he's only gear 11, so we can only have a plus 12 on his crit chance. And we don't have any relics that can increase it. But, I mean, I've got a 70% crit chance. Hopefully that's going to be enough. We will see. It's unfortunate we can't test this in arena. So, I mean, he's got some cool stuff going. You know, he can stun. Whenever he does a basic, he's going to call 3 different people to assist. So it's going to feel a little bit like Mon Mothma. And if someone else calls him to assist, like Kira, for instance, then he's going to also be calling them to assist. So, there's really cool benefits from all of this stuff. So Kira, who is not only really good at what she does, but she's also kind of hot. She's got her AoE, and the AoE is really cool. I think I need to mod her for speed. Actually, you can see that her mods are actually pretty garbage on her. I don't know. At some point, I wanted to get her more crit chance. I think because she gets more prepared more often based off of her basic. If she does two crits with her shot, then she's going to get prepared, which is super nice. But she doesn't need to worry about that. So I think I'm going to be remodding her a little bit to be a little faster. And her AoE is nice because it dispels everyone because it's prepared, and she's also going to put stagger on them. This is the one that you really want a lot of potency on her for, because she'll be able to apply stagger, which is nice. Does more damage if they're buffed, blah blah blah. This one calls everyone to assist, and against prepared allies defense penetration, and it calls everyone to assist, which is super nice, because then Dash is going to attack and he's going to call other people in to assist, and it's going to be a huge mess. Her unique is nice. It's that unique leadership again. So she gains all this stuff. Other Scoundrel allies gain half these benefits while attacking. Keep in mind that she needs a Zeta for that to happen, but she's kind of a cool character. I have her relic, and she's really annoying to try to relic, so you have to be pretty serious about wanting to use her. But I'm on the other side of things, and clearly I'm not taking advantage because she just has terrible mods. That will change by the time GAC lock happens. Vander Chewy is really cool because he keeps everyone alive. He's going to be really healthy. I've modded him for full health. I don't have 6 E mods all the way on him because I'm not rich, but you can help me with that. Keep hitting like button on these videos, guys. Help me get rich, so you don't have to worry about how he gets prepared, because he's always going to be prepared, and whenever he loses prepared, he will regain it. Super nice. Probably going to put another relic on him just because his health benefits so much. L3 is going to, I did put another couple relics on her. She was relic 4 earlier today, but relic 6 is nice because she gains so much health and armor. And then I kind of put a weird mix on her. I put protection primaries. For the most part, I did put a crit damage immunity or crit avoidance arrow on her, but so she's got health and protection. The thing that she interacts with the best with her protection, with her prepared, is every time on basic, she does 2 things. On basic, she is gaining 10% max health every single time that she does that. So if she counters or if she's called to assist, she's going to gain 80 health, 80k health. Sorry, I can't talk. 8k health. That's 10%, but she's also gaining 30% more max health from that. So I mean, whatever 30% plus of this number plus this number, that's going to be her max health from his lead, and that's going to in turn make her even more healthy every time she does a basic. So that's nice. And then the other thing, the one that is questionable to me, I don't know exactly. I mean, I think that her prepared is going to stay on her quite a bit actually, and so the issue is what happens. So let's see if we don't want to look at their Zeta here. All right, so when an enemy, if she didn't take damage from an enemy, that's how she gains prepared, blah blah blah. And here's the thing though, she doesn't really get rid of her prepared super easily. So she's gaining all these different things. Every time she gains prepared, then she taunts. But I don't think she's going to become prepared every single turn. And it's not like a debuff. So I think that if they just dispel it, if they just dispel her taunt, she's just not going to be taunting anymore until she hits so it'll be interesting to see exactly how this works. I think she's not going to be taunting as much as I had originally thought. So that's a little concerning, but we'll see how it goes. Young Han is cool. I just put his Zeta on him, which is super exciting because he's going to be assisting all the damn time. He has a 70% chance to assist another scoundrel allies while he's prepared. And while he's prepared, he's constantly prepared. He's also going to be ramping up his damage a lot. So I've crit chance and then just a bunch of offense on him. And the idea for this team, guys, is just to be able to take down a team that is I don't know, is more resilient, I guess, but doesn't have any way to cause insta-death. What I really want to try is against like a crew team, something like that, first order team. And even if we can't gain a ton of turn meter, the team kind of ramps up in damage with YOLO. And if you take out a team that doesn't have a bunch of ramping damage, you eventually just start one-shotting people with YOLO. And I mean, I want to try something like that. We'll see how it goes. Night Sisters, I think we'd probably do okay against. There's a few different teams. Well, the one thing I have to be careful about is our teams that can do % health damage, because like Jedi Training Ray teams are just going to wipe out Vendor Chewie super easy, and that's the weak link. Like if they kill Chewie, then it's over if L3 can't protect it. So like Jedi Training Ray teams are probably off the table. I'm guessing Commander Luke teams are also going to be until we get like a Relic Dash or something. We'll have to see. But definitely on offense, I think that this team gets played too easily by a ton of different teams if it's on defense. Even with an Omicron, I think that it's going to be pretty easy to kill, honestly. So, like a Commander Luke team would wipe this out. Jedi Training Ray team would wipe this out. Probably a Night Sisters team would wipe it out, as long as you can bypass the taunt on L3 and then get rid of Vendor, because he has so much health. You do so much damage through % health damage. It gets pretty gross. Now, let's talk about Aura real quick, guys, because, or rather Zam, because there's two different ways I want to run it. Number one, I want to run her with Aura lead, and if we do that, that just means that we need Bosk and Grief to be fast. And the thing is, I just made them way slower because they don't need to be super fast. You can see 314. I know that's still a little bit fast, but not super fast. 314, he's at 312. And here's the thing though, with the way I have Zam modded, and she's not super fast yet, but she's at 305. She's going to be handing everyone 72 speed, something like that. And so they're going to outspeed everyone. So Bosk is going to taunt, Grieve. You guys have seen my channel. You guys have seen me in GAC. At least a lot of you have. And Bosk taunts, Grief goes. Bosk also has Frenzy when he taunts. So he goes again. He calls a mass assist. And we're off to the races. And under Aura lead, you just get to... everyone's just going to go first, and it's going to be a huge mess. So Zam, really, she's going to be handing some offense off to everyone, but she's also, in this role, she's going to be handing speed off. So that's why I put speed on her. And otherwise, I do put offense on her. And here's the other thing, guys. So under Aura lead, it's less important because you're just having your Mando just take a ton of turns and take people out. But if you're running it under a boss lead, which is what I'm going to be doing with my alt, and she'll only be gear 12 under my alt. And one thing to keep in mind too, guys, if Zam dies, then all of those buffs just disappear. Like, obviously they can't like take back what your initial starting turns are and everything, but she's going to, obviously if she can't be protected, she dies. But here's the awesome thing about her Omi. So she's gaining a ton. So she's gaining 60% increase to her offense, max health, max protection, and speed. And here's one thing that I really wanted to show in this video, actually, guys, is just a quick glimpse of what exactly we're going to be looking at her for. So people are saying that she needs potency because she wants to land thermals. I don't care about thermals on her, actually, not in this comp. So if you're running her with a Bosk lead, here's the thing: you want a lot of. She's going to be gaining 60% max offense for each of her companions. She's getting 240% offense, which means she's going to be at this point. I mean, because I put some extra offense on her, she's going to be gaining another what? Oh gosh, it's 240% is so much. She's going to be, oh man, it's going to be over 2,400, 2,800, something like that. 28,000, sorry, damage. And so people are wondering, like, okay, so cool, she has that high offense number, but will she actually do damage? Like, Barris can do damage, but that doesn't really matter. Here's the thing. I want to show you guys something. This is really, really kind of important, actually. Let's see if I can find it. Nice. Okay, so I've pulled up this bounty hunter chart here, and let's see if we can. So here's the thing: who does it? Do you guys know what damage modifiers are? Because damage modifiers are actually pretty interesting. They help you determine exactly how effective your team is going to be in terms of damage. Like a new character, you can tell roughly how they're going to do. So, for instance, you go to sw@goh.gg, and you can see here this number below each of their of Boba's attacks will signify how much damage he can do. And so his basic is going to be 68 to 75. That's his damage range. His AoE does less damage, though of course it's more it's an AoE and it does more effects. And then his execute does even more damage, 11,000 to 12,000 approximately. So that's what Boba's is. But keep in mind, his basic is 68 to 75. Let's look at one that's a little less damaging. So like Grief is on the other end of the spectrum. He's more of just a facilitator, right? So he does 3,300 to 3,700, which is considerably less than Boba. So, depending, this is a modifier based off of their offense numbers. So, I mean, this is what makes Barris so criminally undamaging. Like, let's look at Barris real quick. Oh, not under Bounty Hunter though, huh? Yeah, so Ayla's got okay damage modifiers, but let's see. So let's see how much damage. So her damage modifier is pretty low as well. I mean, that's the same as like Grief level. It's like she'll be able to ramp up a tiny bit if she get a bunch of offense on her, but this really low damage modifier is not doing her any favors. So the thing about it though is, so Zam doesn't do as much damage as Boba, but she's still in the range of she's still in the discussion of being able to do a lot. Like she's got a pretty decent amount. Like, yes, it's nice to be able to apply thermals and everything, but a lot of times you're just going to want her to be doing a lot of damage with her shot, and she is going to be able to actually apply a ton of damage based off of her damage modifier. So I'm pretty confident that having 28,000 offense as opposed to just, I probably did the math wrong, but as opposed to doing whatever else, it seems like it's going to be good. So I think that she's actually going to do some damage, and I'm excited for that. Now, this team is actually very good on offense. The thing is, on defense, it can be gamed. Once again, I mean, Bosk and Grief, they're going to be over 380 speed, something like that, and so maybe it can't be gamed as well. You don't want Aura Lead, by the way, for on defense. If you want On defense, you can do Django for extra speed on top of all of that, or you can just do Bosk lead and make this team super resilient under, and then have Zam there. But the thing is, if you throw a Commander Luke team in here, Commander Luke just runs the board on these guys. He just wipes them out. So I really don't think that that's going to be that much of an option. I think that we're generally going to want to use we use this team on offense, and you get max banners, and you call it a day. Zam just replaces our other characters that make him fast. Like, you can use Queel on this team and make him all super fast, or as long as Queel is super fast, and same with Moff Gideon. And so Zam is just a replacement for that, and she's DPS under a Bosk lead. Really excited to see how it goes. I don't know if I'll ever throw thermals with her. I might just do basics. We'll have to see. It's impossible to test, again, because it's an Omicron, and she's not gaining the kind of bonuses that we would like to see. So finally, we have this Chirpa squad, and obviously my Prevail Man does not have them as well geared or probably as well modded, but the idea here, guys, is Chirpa's going to be giving them all these different things. He's going to be giving them plus 30 speed and an additional extra damage, which is kind of nice. And then basic abilities have an additional 40% chance to call Ewok, ally to assist, blah, blah, blah. And the nice thing about that is that means that every single time you use a special, someone else is being called to assist. And the nice thing about all of this as well is every time, whenever they perform a basic attack, Ewok allies gain 20% turn meter and, deal extra damage, blah, blah, blah. And so the Ewoks are they gain so much turn meter. I just think that it's going to be a really good squad. So I haven't decided if they're going to be on offense or not. I think people are saying that Nest beats it pretty easy. I don't really think Nest is going to beat it really easily. Maybe a really fast Nest or something, but I think that if you have a potency low gray, I think that Nest just doesn't take a turn. I think Nest just times out against this team if low gray is able to, actually get the thing off. So the real key here, though, folks, and I've said this a million times, but just in case you guys don't know, you want Paplu to be as fast as he can, because he gains plus 25 speed whenever he doesn't have the taunt active, which at the very start of the match he doesn't. So he's got extra sneaky speed. So on my main account, he is plus 25%. Let's just say it's 240%, so it's easy enough. He'd be gaining what, put me on the spot here, huh? He'd be gaining like 50, he'd be gaining 60 speed, something like that, which isn't a huge amount, but that puts him right around 300. But then he's also plus 30 speed on top of that from Chirpa. But actually, I think what'll happen, I don't know how it works in terms of his unique. I think his unique would apply, then the leadership bonus for speed would apply, so he'd be at 330 speed. And I don't know, that's enough to trip up a lot of people. And if you make him faster, I think if I was actually running this team for real on my main, on any of them, I think I'd be ramping up the speed considerably, trying to make it so that he is, 360 speed. So then it starts being questionable if a trooper team can even outspeed them, in which case, what team do you even take against them? Because they gain so much turn meter all the time, they're going to be wrecking people. So really excited about that Zeta. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have the wrong read, but it's going to be on an alt. We can test it, and if I'm wrong, then we can just move along. So this team will be on offense or defense, depending on how I'm going to be playing things. I think, honestly, if I can get the Zeta on Wicket and everything on my alt, I think it might be an offensive team, and then we can start putting some decent defensive teams down, or sometimes we'll trip people up with it. Just haven't decided yet, but I do think that it's going to be a pretty potent team with a lot of damage. You just have to make sure that they are reliced well and everything, and modded well, and you understand the mechanics of the team. I do think that they're going to be very strong on defense as well. I'm excited to see. We'll probably do about 50-50, but honestly, make a fast Pet Blue, Lots of damage on Wicket. Wicket's the second character you want to put relics on if you're going to run this team. Low Gray needs all the potency you can hold, every single ounce of potency, just as I'm not doing that on him. Let's see how much potency though. 88%. That's probably enough, though. You probably want to just stack him with lots of potency. Make sure that nest is not going to be able to move because of all your turn meter gain. It's going to be epic. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think. I'm excited to run these teams. I think Bounty Hunters are going to kill everything from General Skywalker and below, killing Darth Revan teams easily. Almost all Darth Revan teams, just super easy. Dash will be more specialized, but we'll be able to take out like Dooku teams and stuff, I think, without much hassle. Let me know what you guys think, though. What are you going to counter with? How are you going to run things? What did I miss? As usual, be respectful and everything. Let me know. And I would love to have more discussion on this. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Zareth prevails.